the context of the book of Romans, and it'll help because you'll see that it really is about relating to people who we don't necessarily see eye to eye with, relating to people who might be different to us, people we may think that they do church differently to us, they have different concept of what religious life is like, they have different concepts of how to live out their faith, they might have different perspectives on politics and economics and you name it. That's what was going on in the church at Rome, and that's what the Apostle Paul was dealing with. Therefore, it's very important to us to recognise that we also have those kind of tensions, and how can we do it well? And so Paul wrote this letter to the church at Rome. He'd never been to this church. He planned to go there. He was hoping to get there within a few months, it would seem, probably a few months to a year or so after he had written this letter and sent it with one of his deacons, a lady by the name of Phoebe, who was going to go and deliver this letter. He had sent it with them and saying, hey, I want to get to you. I want to come and be with you. I want to meet you. He knew a number of the people there. He'd known several of them because they'd spent some time in Corinth, in Greece, where he was. They'd gone back to Rome. And so he knew them, but he didn't know everybody. But he felt like it was like a second generation church to him. Many of the leaders were people who he had discipled. And so his heart was to get there. And what had happened, the background to what was causing the reason for the letter more than anything, was that he was hearing that there was some dissension in the ranks of the church in Rome. There was some differences of opinion about how the church should function and who should be allowed into the family of God and what hoops do people have to climb through and what walls do they have to climb over in order to be accepted in the family of God. And in the context here, it was very much about the difference between the Jewish way of believing what it meant to be a Christian and a member of his church, and the Christian way, the Gentile way, the Jewish way and the Gentile way. And the Jews had all kinds of rules. They'd grown up with a very strict religious regime about what it meant to be a follower of Yahweh, that we had to be circumcised and obey all these rules and eat certain foods and not eat certain other foods. And they were very rigid in that perspective. But it was oftentimes coming from a genuine and a heartfelt perspective. It was coming from wanting to honour God with their lives. Of course, at times